Yo, man, there's been a very interesting debate going on for some time now, and I don't like the results I've been seeing. You know, I mean, it done got out of hand at this point. You know, and I feel like here at the Hub, we need to break it down. We're gonna break it down and make sure we put an end to this debate. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about this debate: Dragon Ball versus One Piece. Who's stronger? Who's more powerful? And you know, it's outrageous. It's outrageous to me. Now, we got a lot of matchups we're going to get into. We got a lot of matchups we're going to get into through the next few weeks when it comes to the Z crew versus the Straw Hat crew. So, you know, and y'all going to be here with me while I break it down. You feel me? So, look, man, if you haven't subscribed or subbed to the Hub, make sure you do that. We about to get into it right now.
Let's go. I'll be damned if they tryna go against Poke. I'ma die if I gotta go against Poke.
All right, man, so with this whole debate going on between Dragon Ball Z and One Piece and stuff like that, what we gonna do first, man? We gonna start with the main matchup, Goku versus Luffy. Now this is gonna be interesting, you know what I'm saying? And we starting off with the base form. We just gonna do base form right now, okay? So everybody that we're pitting against each other, we gonna do base form, okay? So that's where we gonna do this at. Now, eventually we'll get to the transformations and things like that, the power-ups and things, but right now we start in base form. And this is gonna be very interesting, man. So, cause I can't wait to battle y'all in the comments about this. We gonna see how we gonna really see how people really feel about this, okay? Now, for the first breakdown, you know, when it comes to the base forms, we're doing, we ain't gonna do no Super Saiyan, no transformations at all. You know, we gonna do straight raw ability. We gonna make sure that we put. Before we even get to Luffy, we're gonna put out all Goku's abilities and statistics, power ups, whatever y'all wanna call it, and then we gonna go to Luffy. We're gonna basically put up Luffy stuff, and then we just gonna go from there. Let's start with Goku base form. Okay, we starting off Goku base form, and with that being said. Number one thing that people got to pay attention to when we talking about this comparison between Goku and Luffy. Goku is not just throwing hands. He's using ki. That means he's using energy blast, Kamehameha, long range attacks. You know, he can hit you without even touching you. You know what I mean? Goku one of them dudes. He can hit you without even touching you. Did you hear that? You feel me? So off rip, to me, Goku got the advantage in power just overall. Now let's go to speed, okay? But let's talk about speed, right? When it comes to speed, this is where things start separating. Goku already moves faster than your eyes could even track already, you know what I mean? But then when you add instant transmission on top of it, it's just ridiculous, you feel me? Basically teleportation, you know, for you people who don't know, if you live under a rock and you ain't never seen Dragon Ball Z. That means he can disappear and pop wherever the hell he wants to pop. You feel me? It's insane. We ain't talking about like disappearing from this chair to the living room. We talking about this man can literally disappear from here to another planet. You understand me? It's a completely different type of speed. You feel me? It's insane, to be honest. I don't really know any other anime character who has that type of ability, to be honest. Now, Let's go to skill, okay? Let's go to skill, right? Now, this is one of those things that I feel like don't get talked about enough when it comes to Goku. You know, like when we trying to compare Goku versus Luffy and stuff like that. We talking about skill, you feel me? Goku is a trained martial artist. Trained martial artist. When you're talking about like just throwing hands and kicking and all this other stuff, this man is a trained martial artist. This man been trained by martial arts masters, by gods, you know, and this man adapt mid-fight. He adapts to what's going on, you know. Goku ain't just strong. He actually knows how to fight. You understand me? We're talking about some Mayweather hands, you know what I'm saying? Some Bruce Lee kicks, and you know what I mean? Whatever you want to name it, Goku can do it when it comes to martial arts. He's that serious, you feel me? Abilities. Let's get to the abilities, man. You know, that's another one too. When you look at Goku's abilities, Goku's toolkit is very deep. Okay, this man can sense energy. So sneaking up on him is already a problem. that's already going to be a problem. The man can fly. He can create after images. He can control. He can control his ki in different ways. This man is very versatile. Very versatile. Then we're gonna go to durability. Let's talk about his durability. Now, when we talk about durability, Goku takes hits that would finish most characters off. We talking about like hits to where this man is flying through mountains, buildings. You know what I mean? Like, ridiculous shit. You feel me? It makes no sense the type of damage that he takes mid fight. So when you really look at it, Goku's endurance is different. He just his endurance is just at a level that is unexplainable. So when you really look at it, base form Goku is a real complete fighter. We talking about power, speed, skill, abilities. This man checked every box. Okay, so that's just Goku. Okay, now we about to go to Luffy. We about to go to Luffy, right? You know what I'm saying? So for the One Piece fans out there, we gonna do some justice. You feel me? But we gotta speak facts. Okay, facts. Okay, now we gotta flip it to Luffy. Okay, base form Luffy ain't no joke either. You know what I'm saying? Like let's not look down on his skills, because Luffy don't fight normal either. Okay, let's just get that down. Now, same rules apply. Base form. We ain't talking about gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5, none of that. We ain't talking about none of the gears. We just talking about Luffy by himself, base form, okay? Now, let's start with power. Luffy is physical, but it's not just regular strength. You know what I'm saying? He got a body like it's made of rubber. So that alone is already just, an advantage in just him just being a character. And then when you add Haki on top of that, it's especially like armament Haki. You know what I'm saying? It makes him very interesting also, right? When Luffy put on that armament Haki, yo man, that's when the hits start getting real. You understand me? It's like you getting beat by steel. You feel me? Luffy still got to get close to you to get, to throw you them hands. You feel me? Like, that's one of the advantages that Goku has to me over Luffy. There's no long range attacks. So he doesn't really have many of those. Does he have any? Yeah, he has a few. I've seen an episode or so where he swings or whatever, people are getting hit by the wind or the force of his hits and stuff like that. But I don't know how far of a distance that can really, he can manage that, compared to like range, he don't got nothing with Goku. He don't, it's not no comparison to Goku, of course, but Luffy's power is strong, so we can't deny that. Now we about to go to speed. Okay. Now Luffy is fast, no question. Okay. But what really makes him dangerous is his reaction speed. With observation Haki, this man, like, he can read movements, he can anticipate attacks, he can sometimes even before they happen. So observation Haki that's a very important tool in Luffy's arsenal. So while Goku might be faster in movement, Luffy makes up for it with timing and awareness. Now, let's talk about skill, since we bring a skill in there too. Luffy's not your traditional martial artist. He fights off of instinct. He's creative, he's unpredictable, and he adjusts in his own way. Okay, so you never really know what he's about to do next. That's what makes him dangerous, But it's a different type of skill compared to Goku, So let's go to his abilities, okay? We talking about base form, okay? Remember this, we're talking about base form. So now this is where Luffy really stands out when it comes to just base form. His abilities are different. Just imagine running up somebody with a rubber body. You know what I mean? That's already weird. You know, then you got armament Haki. He can increase the damage that he does to a person when he adds that. Also, the observation Haki, we already spoke on that, to read attacks, and conqueror's Haki to apply some pressure. You know, so he got some tools that don't, you know, that don't follow normal rules. You know, that unpredictability can throw off a lot of fighters. You know. Now let's talk about durability. Okay, now this is a tough one. You know what I mean? Like, when you really think about it, because that is one of Luffy's like biggest strengths, is durability, especially being created by rubber. You know what I'm saying? Well, just being made by rubber. You know, because his rubber body, he can shrug off a lot of blunt damage, a lot of just, you know, tough hits and things like that. And on top of that, his endurance is crazy. You know, so he takes punishment a lot and he keeps going. Like, to be honest, like, there's been plenty of times where you watching One Piece and you see Luffy getting his ass beat for like a good 10, 15 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, these niggas just punching rubber. You know what I'm saying? They punching rubber. So the point, so it's like, you gotta be, I don't think you could ever I can't ever destroy no damn rubber just punching it. You know, that's like punching a basketball all day, just hoping it busts. You feel me? Like, that's just, it's just ridiculous. You feel me? So, he takes that punishment, he keep going, and that's really like one of Luffy's toughest traits, is his durability. Outside of that, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so when you look at Luffy, you know, he's not all about dominance. It's not, he's more about like adapting, you know what I'm saying? His adaptability to fights also, you know, using the observation Haki, trying to figure out what's going on, like how he can defeat the opponent and stuff like that. But a lot of times he's figuring this out while he's getting his ass beat. It's similar to Goku. Goku does the same thing, you know what I mean? But he, you know, Luffy always finds a way to stay in the fight. So, you know, that's a good thing. Now, we're about to transition into my final comparisons, okay? So when you put both of these characters side by side, you know, Goku brings power, he brings strength, technical skill. Luffy brings the abilities, the unpredictability, and the endurance, you know? So my final thoughts on this, if you look at the chart, man, you know, you can see what I got right here, man. Like, so, and this is really what it comes down to. Is Luffy's toolkit enough to deal with someone like Goku, or is the gap just too big? You know what I mean? So, like, you know, slightly more energy here, like, when it comes to Goku, when it comes to me, you know, like, because if you just look off of the just scale of things, or just look at how Goku's base form is, I mean, realistically, he ain't, you know, Luffy ain't fucking with Goku. It's just hands down, just what it is. And I'm a Luffy fan, you feel me? Hence the, you know, the hat, everything like that. Trust me, you know, I'm a real fan, but he ain't messing with Goku. Now, we just talking about base form, right? So we can do the next episode about, we're gonna level up. We're gonna level up to Super Saiyan 1 versus, you know what I'm saying, Gear 1 or Gear 2, Gear 3, and all this other stuff, man. So at the end of the day, this ain't over, okay? So, but we do got other characters that we putting against each other, right? So I have a nice list of One Piece characters versus Dragon Ball Z characters, man. And this is the Z team versus the Straw Hat Pirates, man. This is gonna be a very interesting series, man. Like, cause I think the Z team, of course, is gonna be over the top. You know what I'm saying? For all of these, all of them. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was hard for me to pick, cause I picked 10 versus 10. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the pirate, the Straw Hat crew only has like 10 members, and then I was trying to pick 10 out of the Z team, you know, so we gonna figure this out, man. But look, man, I enjoyed y'all coming, man, looking at the video. Yeah, we gonna continue this, man. Next episode, we definitely gonna pit some ones against some ones, man. I think we're gonna do Vegeta versus Zoro, see how that pans out. You feel me? So, I mean, I know it's probably people already like, yo, this is gonna get very interesting, man. So, hey, man, this is what we doing. This is what we doing at the hub right now. If you haven't subbed to the hub, make sure you do. Hey, this is about to get interesting, man. So, I'ma holler at y'all next episode. Check it out.